Anta has a new quote-unquote pro basketball shoe and it looks oddly familiar. The shoe is called the Anta Attack 6 Pro and it looks better than its predecessor. The tech also seems to have been improved. While the Attack 5 had the old school Anta foam called A-Flashfoam, the Attack 6 Pro uses the newer A-Shock Pro, which was also used in the Shockwave 7. And there's one other thing you need to know. You see, I have been writing sneaker stories and posting shoe reviews for more than 10 years, and over the years, Anta has produced a ton of basketball shoes, many of which have reasonable prices. The Anta Attack 6 Pro is not different. Original price is about 4,600 pesos, which is about $75, but with vouchers, I have seen the price drop to about 3,400 pesos, which is about $60. But that's not all. The shoe has three colorways so far, and there could be more. There's a neon colorway, a magnetic field colorway, and a dark night colorway. But as I've said, the shoe looks oddly familiar regardless of the colorway, and even the name of the shoe itself seems to suggest that it's a pro version when that may not be the case at all. Let's look at the tech and the name behind the shoe, so let's have a quick conversation. Anta describes the Attack 6 Pro as an all-around running basketball shoe. It's designed for players who are agile and quick to attack. It's probably why the tech used focuses more on cutting things down to the basics instead of forcing things to look flashy. It's no surprise that the shoe uses mesh as the base material for the upper along with some synthetic panels at the back. Anta bonded the upper material through a hot melt process, which means that the adhesives used were heated and melted. This makes the adhesion more durable. Now, the shoe uses full-length A-Shock Pro for the cushioning material that's specifically designed for outdoor basketball. That's because Anta says that this foam material has 15% weight reduction but 33% better impact protection. Supporting the A-Shock Pro is a Z-shaped TPU frame on the lateral extending from front to back, which is a nice little touch in my opinion, although it kinda reminds me of a Nike shoe, which I'll get to in a bit. And like most outdoor basketball shoes from Anta, the Attack 6 Pro uses what the brand calls cement nemesis rubber. The outsole uses full-length herringbone traction pattern, which looks aggressive. The treads also look thick and widely spaced and have corrugations like saw teeth. Overall, these things make up the tech for the Anta Attack 6 Pro, but as with basketball shoes from most Chinese brands, names can be confusing. Let me explain. So Anta's official Shopee store calls this shoe the Attack 6 Pro, which should mean that there must be a standard version and you might think there's one. The closest you may think of is what the brand calls the Anta Shock the Game Attack 6. It was released in early 2025 and it's also built for fast play in outdoor courts. The name may sound like it's the standard version, but the tech and price say otherwise. That's because the retail price is around 7,600 pesos. That's about $125. Compare that to the retail price of the Anta Attack 6 Pro at just around 4,600 pesos or about $77, and things don't seem to add up because you have a so-called Pro version that costs almost half the price of the standard version. Even comparing the tech used seems to tell a different story. That's because the Attack 6 Pro uses a Shock Pro while the Shock the Game Attack 6 uses Nitro Edge. If you have played with both foam materials before, you would know that Nitro Edge is Anta's higher end foam material which closely mimics Adidas Boost. It's more on the responsive side, especially when not fully caged. A-Shock Pro on the other hand is less responsive but has better compression, which is similar to Nike's Cushlon. So in a way, the Attack 6 Pro uses Anta's lower tier foam compared to Nitro Edge, and for a Pro version that also doesn't make sense, but here's what may actually be the case. The Anta Attack 6 Pro may not really be a Pro version but just the Anta Attack 6, which means it's the standard version, it's just that the foam material used has the Pro in its name, kinda like how Nike adds the word Zoom or Air to the names of its shoes. In fact, Anta's retailers and resellers have done this before, especially in non-US websites, which is interesting because Anta seems to still haven't standardized the naming conventions for its products, and there's a reason for this, which is that many of Anta's non-signature shoes are first named in Chinese. Anta is a Chinese brand, and the practice has been for the brand to give Chinese names to its shoes, which makes sense. But now that Anta has a global presence, it has to step up and create a standard naming convention for its basketball shoes that its retailers will need to follow. This is also probably the reason why Anta Philippines just lists the shoe as the Anta Attack 6 in its website. Now, for the most part, Anta Philippines seems to have gotten things right with the names, except for some minor hiccups like the Anta Scalpel 1, which Anta Philippines lists as the Anta Edge 1. Other than that, what is listed in the Anta Philippines website may as well be the official name for Anta's shoes, but there's one other thing that may raise some eyebrows. You'll probably hear someone say that the Anta Attack 6 Pro looks similar to the Nike GT Cut 1. I'll let you decide on this, but take a look at the Nike GT Cut 1. The midsole contours seem to closely resemble those in the Anta Attack 6 Pro, except that the Nike GT Cut 1 was released back in April 2021, which is more than 4 years ago. The shoe, however, has been retroed this year, so Anta may be onto something here. But I want to hear what you have to say, because to me, the shoe may be a good on-court performer, however Anta calls it, and for its price, the benefits may actually be worth it. But then again, the shoe looks like the Nike GT Cut 1, and this could put you off, but let me know what you think. Hey man, thanks for watching. You can support me and my 10 rescued cats by joining my channel membership. Thanks, and I hope to see you on the next one.